Meanwhile, another upgrade for iPhone lovers.
The 4S edition of the popular smartphone comes out on Friday. Some people in New York have way too much time in their hands. They've spent the last 17 days in Midtown Manhattan. You gotta be kidding me. Waiting in line for the new phone.
I've done it. I've done the wait for an iPhone for all the previous ones, and last year I did it for 3 days. I was number 12, but I really want to be number one. I really want to experience being number one.
That's your definition of being number one.
Yes,
Apple's popularity is expected to grow through the holidays. Analysts expect fourth quarter shipments of the iPhone 4S to hit 30 million or more, almost double from last year. For thousands of iPhone 4 and iPad users, Apple's new iOS 5 software update has been anything but smooth. The iOS 5 operating system was supposed to put the devices in line with the functions offered by that new iPhone 4S. Instead, it either significantly slowed down the operating system or wiped out data completely on many. Pioneer Press technology columnist Julio Ojeda-Zapata joins me now with more on what exactly happened. And that is my first question, Julio. What did happen?
Well, what didn't happen, I spent the better part of yesterday trying to update the iOS operating system on my iPhone, the Mac OS operating system on my Mac, which is supposed to work with the iPhone. I was supposed to migrate my online services from MobileMe to a new thing called iCloud. I had to do all of these things yesterday, and it took forever because the downloads took an eternity. There were all kinds of error messages and glitches. It was kind of a nightmare. Other people have had it a lot worse. Their phones have gotten bricked, rendered useless. There's been a lot of unhappiness.
Now, Julio, I consider you the ultimate insider on this technology stuff. I certainly am not. If you had problems, how did they expect people with less sort of tech savviness to be able to do this?
Well, what needed to be done isn't really that hard. The problem is Apple's servers yesterday were swamped, so it took 10, 20, 30 times as long. And so my advice is don't do what I did. I'm kind of an early adopter, and I want to do these things right away so that I can write about them. Most average people should probably just wait a day, 2, 3 days. Right. Just wait till the weekend and sort of take your time, because yesterday for me was a complete nightmare.
Now, one of our producers was at the Apple store last night, saw a line of people having problems with that software. How many people do we think may have been affected by this?
No way to know, but it's very clear that Apple's servers were completely swamped, and that meant millions of people were trying to access the software, to download the software. And this is proof that Apple products are just hugely popular, because when Apple releases something like this, problems ensue. This is not the first time. There have been past occasions when Apple makes software, updating software available, via the internet, and everything just kind of breaks down. One year, Apple tried to release an iPhone and update its iOS software at the same time, which was a big mistake. That was kind of a nightmare. This happened about 2 years ago.
Well, before I let you go, Julio, I want to ask one quick question, and hopefully you can get to it fairly quickly, and that is, what do people do that did get their phone wiped out?
The good news for Apple customers is that there are 5 Apple retail stores in the Twin Cities, and the people who work there are top-notch. They're pros, they're very helpful, they're very consumer-friendly. Just take your device to one of these stores, and they should be able to help you. What often happens is if there's something wrong with your phone that they can't fix, they'll just give you a new phone.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's simple as that.
All right, Julio Ojeda-Zapata, thank you so much for your insight. I appreciate it.